Right now it's about 10 or 15 miles an hour. It's a stolen car. The Century Sheriffs just got behind the car, tried to pull it over, and it failed to yield. So at this point, a very slow crawl. Once again, we're seeing another slow pursuit here in Compton, and we have 3 units in the pursuit and an airship overhead.
What do we know about where this started, Gil, and who's in the car?
It really started, Robert, in Compton, just south of the 105 freeway, and now here the vehicle coming to almost a stop. It is in a neighborhood street here on Raymond, and it looks like he's going to pull into a driveway here. It's unknown if this is the home of the driver or not, but again, it's a stolen vehicle.
Any idea what kind of car this is? I mean, is it possible it just ran out of gas or something? Or is
it's hard to yeah, hard to say what it is. It's pretty beat up. I'm getting word now that it also may be wanted for DUI. So we're trying to get clarification on that. But you see the sheriff's in position here when the felony stop.
What is that on the front of the car? Is that a paint scratch or is that some type of tape?
It looks like it almost looks like painter's tape, but it's all taped up there. You see the bumpers really just about to fall off the car. So again, it's unclear. You know, it was driving pretty slow, so it might be in some rough shape and not able to reach high speeds.
Gil, do we have any idea how long this has been going, and is there anybody else in the car? Wait a minute, what are we seeing in the driveway there?
Yeah, it looks like someone may have come out of the vehicle. They have guns drawn on that driver there. I'm not sure if this guy came out of the house or the vehicle. I didn't see anyone pop out of the...
We didn't either.
Yeah, so this guy's jumping the fence going towards deputies. It might be just confused that it might be a homeowner there that isn't sure what's going on. But this driver there pulled into that driveway, and I think maybe that's a homeowner that came out of the house. Not sure what's going on.
So we have the Sheriff's Department overhead. Gil, you mentioned stolen car here, or a suspected stolen car, and we believe this also could be a DUI?
Yeah, we're getting word from the airship overhead that they're mentioning a possible DUI driver as well.
Do we know if there's anybody else in the car?
So far, we're hearing just driver only.
Okay.
And so there they are with their guns drawn, trying to get whoever is behind the wheel out of this car. And Gil, you said this has been a pretty brief pursuit, slow speed at that, just on the streets of Compton, not venturing into any freeways, I take it?
No, it was southbound on Wilmington Avenue at a slow rate of speed, about 30 miles an hour. They were calling it. It never went over 30 miles an hour and just came to a crawl here on Raymond.
So what's the procedure at this point? Will they stay back there? Is there somebody giving orders here? Do we know if they're in cell contact, or do they have a canine unit?
No canine that we know of. I don't see a canine there yet. So they may resort to that if the driver doesn't come out. But you see there's quite a few deputies already here on scene. And they're just going to be giving the driver orders to come out of the car and surrender. But so far we haven't seen the keys come out. We haven't seen the car move either. So that's a good sign too.
And it's interesting, as you mentioned, Gil, it is possible that the driver ran out of gas because they never made it into, I'm assuming that's the driveway of a home right there, correct?
It is. Let me come out wider and show you that person in the white shirt. It looked like he was in the driveway, up the driveway, when the officers when the deputies approached, and they made him come over to them. So that might have been the homeowner coming out of the house. It's unclear if this person lives there or not. It looks like the homeowner was a little confused.
Now, if you're just joining us, we want to let you know, again, this was a very short pursuit here, and, you know, pursuit might even be a strong term. Deputies were following this car when we caught up with it. It was only doing, what, Gil, 5 miles an hour, and ended up in this residential neighborhood in Compton.
That's correct. About 5 miles an hour as it turned eastbound on Raymond here and away from Wilmington Avenue. And literally, it was stopping at red lights. It was not running red lights. It was driving pretty much, you know, properly, but then it just made this slow turn. And you're right, it might have run out of gas.
And as you mentioned, Gil, this is a car that looks like it's being held together with painter's tape on the front. And it looks like that's maybe even be a spare tire in the back right there as well.
Yeah, good call. It looks like it is the spare on the car. So it's unclear as to, you know, if the person stole it or if it is a DUI. We're trying to get clarification from the airship overhead.
You're not getting any reports that the car hit any other cars or hit anyone as it was driving, correct?
You know, that's a good question. I looked at the front end as it was coming towards us, and the headlight was, the passenger headlight was pretty tweaked. It looked like maybe it had been in an accident, but on closer inspection, it looks like it's just being held together with tape and string.
Gil, we did see the what appeared to be a home. Oh, the door just opened there. What do we?
Yep.
It did. The door opened, and the driver, I don't know, it's hard to see from my perspective. It looks like maybe hunched over out the door. It's hard to say.
It is. So where I was going with this, literally fell out of...
He did. He just fell out of the car. Maybe he passed out. Maybe that's the problem. You know, the driver all of a sudden slowing down, maybe just lost consciousness and was able to pop the door open, and he just simply fell out. So at this point, they're going to be, they're just going to approach the vehicle very cautiously because they don't know if there's other people in the car. Yeah, but at this point, the driver there looked like may have passed out, and